So obviously I've got no makeup on, and the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face using the NYX primer spray. I'll be using other primers as well, but I just like to do this first to add more hydration to my skin. Next I'm using Honeydew Me Up. I use this product as more as a serum than a primer. It's great for dry skin as it's really hydrating, but it's also amazing on oily skin types because it contains hyaluronic acid, which helps contain breakouts. It also contains collagen extract and honey, obviously, which has natural antibacterial properties. It's just a great product overall. It's really light and silky and really hydrating. Leaves the skin looking amazing. To prime the skin, I'm using NYX Pore Filler as usual. To be honest, since I've been using Honeydew Me Up, I've only really been using this where I need it, like in my T-zone and on my pores. I mainly put it in my T-zone just to mattify that area. I'm going to be using the NYX Mineral Stick Foundation on my forehead first. I'm just buffing that out with a beauty blender as usual. The reason I'm only putting it on my forehead is because I like to have my base down before I start my eyebrows. As usual, I'm using the HD Eyebrow Primer first. I'm just applying that and then tapping it in with my finger. I'm using the Vanilla and Taupe Sculpt and Highlight Brow Pencil first, just to get a really light base and to have the shape down on the brows. After, I'm going in with 2 colours of eyebrow gel to create realistic looking hairs. To add a little bit more depth to the brow hairs, I'm using brown shades from the Warm Neutrals palette. I would just use NYX brow powder, but I don't have it because I never had eyebrows before. To finish off the brows and make them look extra fluffy and 70s, I'm using 2 shades of the brow mascara on the very minimal hairs that I do actually have. To carve out my desired brow shape, I'm using the NYX concealer jar on a flat brush. I'm using the jar concealer because it's generally thicker and will cut through all the brow products that we've used. No matter what eyeshadow look I'm doing, I always lay down a base of nude shadow, so I'm using the lightest colour from the Perfect Filter palette. To map out my cut crease eye shape, I'm using the Platinum Slide On Glide On pencil. I'm then using the NYX pencil brush and just applying the pencil directly to that, just to blend it out and kind of use a pencil as an eyeshadow, if that makes sense. The reason that I am using the pencil instead of an eyeshadow is just because I think the Platinum Slide On Glide On is more intense than any of the silver eyeshadows. To fill in my entire lid, I'm using the Femme Fatale Full Throttle Shadow Stick. I'm just using this because I think it's quite a 70s colour, and I'll also be using pigments on top, so this will be a perfect base. I'm making the inner corner more vibrant using purple shades from the Ultimate Brights palette. I'm using the NYX Glitter Primer to intensify the pigments. I just feel like applying this first makes the pigments more of a foiled effect, and the pigment that I'm going to be using is Crazed. On top of the pigment I've just laid down, I'm adding some ice glitter into the inner corner. I'm adding blues and purples from the Ultimate Brights palette on the outer wing of the eyeshadow. The further out the eyeshadow gets, the bluer it gets. So it transitions from soft purple to dark purple to blue. To create the rhinestone cut crease, I'm just using Duo eyelash glue and then just adding the rhinestones. It's really that simple, it's just a little bit time consuming. I'm using the Badunkadunk mascara on my natural eyelashes before applying the Malevolent eyelashes. Ooh. To conceal the lash line, I'm using the Epic Ink Liner. This is honestly the best eyeliner I have ever used, and it's waterproof, which is very rare for a liquid eyeliner. To smoke out that liner, I'm using the black eyeshadow from the Love Contours All palette because I want to keep everything quite soft and blended. For foundation, I'm going back in with that mineral stick all over the face, and I'm using shade number 2. As usual, I'm just blending that out with a beauty blender. I did decide that I wanted to look a little bit paler, so I'm mixing the lightest shade of liquid illuminator with the matte but not flat foundation in Ivory, just because I still want that dewy look, but I just wanted to be a little bit paler. To conceal under the eyes and add a natural highlight, I'm using the HD concealer in the shade Porcelain. For a cream highlight base, I'm using the Away We Glow in the shade Opalescent. This is absolutely amazing. I never normally like cream highlighters, but I am loving this one. To set the whole face, I'm using the HD Studio powder. I am using a beauty blender for this just because I like the finish. I feel like it's less cakey, but I'm not baking. I wouldn't use this powder for baking because that's not really what it's for. To brighten the under eye area, I'm just using a little bit of the banana powder. This is great for medium to dark skin tones, but it's also really nice on lighter skin tones as well. For contouring, I'm going in with the highlight and contour palette, and I'm just building up the shades from light to dark. Now my base is done, I'm going back in to finish off the eyes. I'm just using the same colours I used on my lids to blend out the underneath of my eyes. I'm then adding some pink eyeshadow from the Ultimate Brights palette all around my temples and the top of my cheekbones, just to give it a really soft pink flushed look. I'm blending out that pink shadow with one of the lighter setting powders from the contour palette, and then I'm going in to highlight with everyone's favourite Ice Queen. To add a more ethereal glow, I'm using the new duo highlighters in Snow Rose and Lavender Steel. I'm also using Lavender Steel on the inner corners of the eye as well. To make the eyes appear wider, I'm using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk on the waterline. This is an absolute NYX classic. I'm then adding some little star rhinestones to the face, and I'm just applying them using Duo Eyelash Glue. For the lips, I'm using the Platinum Slide On Glide On pencil, and I'm just applying that all over like you would a lipstick. I'm then going over the top of that with the NYX Glitter Primer, and then pressing on crystal glitter all over the lips. I'm using a patting motion because this will help the glitter stick to the glue better. So that's pretty much it for this Disco Glam inspired look. If you like the tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Think you've already found your ideal hotel? Well, before you book,